everyone, welcome back to my nursery. So we are in my kitchen right now. We are starting a series where I'm going to be bringing a reborn to life from a blank kit, which I'll show you, ending in a beautiful baby. So this is a custom for somebody, and this is the reborn Ashley kit. She's so cute. Look at her. She's so tiny. I love her little scrunched up face. So this is how the vinyl kit comes. Comes with 2 arms, 2 legs. Look at that little scrunchy knee. So cute. And yeah, so the Bountiful baby kits are kind of in this really light color. Sometimes the sculpted kits at McPherson's tend to be a bit more maybe peachy. This is very, very pale, so it takes quite a few layers to achieve the skin color that you like. But anyway, so this is how it comes. So the first step in this, getting our kit prepared for paint, is washing the kit. And there's my kitty over there. So to clean your kit, you're going to need some degreasing dish soap, preferably like a Dawn type situation. I have this one, which is brand new, so let me just open this and test it out, make sure it's working. Yeah, good. Okay, so this is any kind of degreasing, just to like take off any fingerprints or things to make the primer and the paint not stick to the vinyl. And I use just a toothbrush that I use to wash my babies and also to brush their hair and everything, so you know, it's not a big deal. That's all you'll need, and just warm water. So let's just wash the kit, and then I will show you how to prime the kit. So just gonna turn our water on. Really warm. And yeah, let's do the arms. What I like to do is I just kind of do that with the soap, and then I'll get my brush, water, and just scrub it. This kit is so cute. It's got 2 closed fists, so it's like super newborn. She's so tiny. And just make sure all the soap is off. And then I let it air dry, so I just put it on a towel to dry. Some people fill their sink up and they will soak the baby in fuzzy water and then rinse them off. That's fine too. I just find this way quicker. You can get in all the crevices. You gotta make sure that you get, like all those crevises. I mean, this one smells like lemon, so makes the baby smell really good too. I'm just gonna continue to do this. I love this leg. This leg is to die for. If you recently saw my collection video, you'll see that I have the birdie kit by Royal Eagles. She's very hard to find. I feel like this kit is a closed-eyed version of that kit a little bit, because look at that leg. That looks like the birdie stretched out leg, except for the foot's not as in, but it's just so cute. All right, so I'm just gonna continue to do this and I'll show you when it's done. Okay, everybody, so here is our kit all clean. I let them air dry. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no, she's there where she's not supposed to be. Anyway, so yeah, so we're just going to, I'm just going to turn this lid on and see if that makes it better. A little bit. So here is Ashley all washed and ready to dry. Usually I will let them dry overnight because I did it earlier on in the day. I'll just let her dry throughout the afternoon, and then I will prime her this evening, and she'll be ready for paint after 24 to 48 hours after primer. So I will check back in with you in a little bit and show you how to prime. See you guys later. Hi, welcome back. Okay, so my Ashley kit is all dry from cleaning the other day, and now we are going to prime her to get ready for paint. So the things you will need, I use Reborn FX air dry paints with my babies because I feel the paint does give a bit of a more realistic look, and just like the safety aspect of actually using the paints and not having to use an oven and all that stuff, you know, just all the bad fumes and things like that. So I do air dry. You have to be very precise with air dry. You don't have a lot of time to fiddle around. It dries fairly quickly. So with primer, what you will need is your primer. I have my bucket here of paints and brushes and whatnot. So this is what my primer looks like, just Reborn FX primer. It's pre-mixed, so there you go. You just give it a shake. And these tops are really annoying because they get crusty with the actual primer on the inside, so I just take this off. So you'll need your primer, and you'll need a big fluffy brush. Not like super fluffy, but something like that. And you'll need sponges. I just get these from the dollar store. These are cosmetic wedges. That's what it looks like. So you'll need one of those. You'll also need water, which I have forgotten. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I don't have any, it's a Christmas cup. I don't have any distilled water at the moment. You're gonna wanna use distilled water. So I'm just gonna use bottled water. Tap water has sediments and things like that in it, so it's good to use some kind of purified water. So there you go. So you have your water, and you have your cosmetic wedge, and you have your brush, and you have your primer. So our first step is just kind of emptying some of the primer out on a dish. I usually have a painter's dish, like a painter's palette, but it's kind of dirty at the moment. I just have to give it a clean, so I'm just going to use this cute little Disney plate. It doesn't matter. And just put some on the plate. You know, you don't want to waste it, so you just want to kind of do a little bit at a time. You take your brush, you wet it. You take your sponge and you wet your sponge a little bit. Get out all the excess. And let's start with the legs. So here's the leg. So this is what you're gonna do. You're going to just get a little bit of the primer, and we're just gonna paint it on. I prefer to do smaller sections, and so I will do like the thigh and knee area, and then I will blend it out, and then I will do the calf area, blend it out, and then the foot area, blend it out. Because you don't want any residue, you don't want any areas where it's thicker so the paint grabs onto more places. Then you're going to take your sponge and you're just going to pounce on these areas just to get rid of the brush lines and to just smooth everything out. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're going to do the calf area. Now with air dry, you also have to be careful of dust and things. So you want to be fairly quick, and you want to dry your baby probably in an area where you don't have your pets or like heating vents or things like that. Possibly use a Tupperware or something like that to put over top of it while it's drying so that the paint doesn't attract dust. Because once it's in there, it's very hard to get out, if at all. So now we're gonna do the foot. Don't forget to get into all the crevices of all the toes. Don't really want to touch it after when it's drying because they'll leave fingerprints, so you want to be really careful. You can wear gloves if you want. I don't really wear gloves because I'm just careful, so. Okay. Once again, you just pounce, pounce, pounce. You'll see there's a different technique with the paint. You definitely don't want to be, it's not like with the Genesis heat set, the paint is very, very thinned out. It's very like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not opaque. It's, I think, the opposite of opaque. So you have to be careful because the paint can get quite cakey. You have to do really, really thin layers, and you can't put it on with the brush. You gotta pounce it on. Okay, so there's our one leg all done. I'll do an arm with you guys, and then I'll just, we'll just speed it up and see what it looks like at the end. Not that you can really see anything on it, but you'll be able to feel a difference in your, the texture of the vinyl. You can actually feel that it is a bit more textured. It's not going to be that smooth kind of feel until you put a varnish on. If you choose to put like a velvet varnish on, then you will have more of a smooth texture to your vinyl afterwards. But anyway, so here, yeah, I just do the shoulder and the elbow. Pounce, 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 and then we do the, and you're just dipping your brush lightly into the primer. You don't need like a ton. So yeah, we'll also talk about the different kinds of varnishes and, you know, and there's techniques of, to get texture. It's a little bit harder to get the kind of texture that you feel on Genesis babies, because they have, I don't know, like different skin textures where you can see the texture and feel it. I feel like with air dry babies, it's a little bit different. I've never been able to achieve that really. I do have a few mediums that I use, but still doesn't quite give that same effect, which is fine. You know, some people don't like the texture. Some people like the softer texture, especially if they cuddle their babies. And if some people are just really big on photographing, taking pictures of their babies, use their babies for photography purposes. And in that case, you get up really close and you can see all the details, and that's perfect. Other people are more cuddling of their babies and want them to be a nice soft texture. So here we go. There's the arm done. Oh, so yeah, just kind of go over, make sure there's no brush marks. Yeah, there we go. And put it on your little stand to dry. I just get these ones. I don't know where I got this one, maybe on Amazon. I got another one on Amazon. Really, you just look under like maybe even bottle rack are perfect. You can make your own. I mean, there's a lot of different options out there. The heads don't really, for me, don't fit, but it doesn't matter. You just put it right next to it because that's how it dries. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do these ones off camera, then I will come and do the face with you again because the face can be a little tricky. So, okay, see you in a sec. Hi. So, all the limbs are now done. I did just want to give you a couple of suggestions here. Not suggestions, but just like, you know, just a little bit of advice, I guess. So if your sponge may get a little like saturated, so just get like paper towels and you can just like pounce on the paper towels just to get that extra moisture off. That will help make everything so that it's not like super wet with water or, you know, primer getting bunched up. Also, make sure you have a smaller brush or a Q-tip for in the creases. So sometimes when you're putting the primer on, it can get puddled into these deep creases here, or deep creases here. You can see, or in between the fingers, you can get bad. So you gotta make sure that you even that out. So use like a small skinny brush with really small bristles, or you use a Q-tip, preferably a pointed Q-tip would be a good option. And you can just get in there and just kind of like smooth it out like that, smooth it out. So just make sure you do that, because that may cause problems with crease puddling later on. Okay, so now we're going to do our face. So I usually start with the ears and the back of the head. Make sure you get inside the ears. And you do want to get in the creases, but you just want to make sure it doesn't pool into the creases. Make sure you get the other ear and inside the ear. Then we go back to that first ear and just pounce. Make sure there's nothing. See, so there's some primer, I can't see it anyway, inside the ear there. So I'm just gonna, I am just going to smooth it out, blend it out with my Q-tip, and keep going. So just keep, you know, you gotta be, gotta pay attention, you know. Yes, you can be watching shows while you do this or something, but you kind of, your eyes kind of gotta be on the prize. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this ear, just kind of make sure that all of that is smoothed out so there's no like puddles of primer. I actually got a baby once. This was when I first started collecting, so I was a little naive. But I got this baby once where, because you have to do the same thing with the sealer and with the varnish, because if the varnish is left to dry like that with puddles, they get these, it's like really gross, white, cracky residue on the baby, and it's gross. And so I had a baby that I had bought that had this in her ears, and like mouth crack, like inside the mouth, because the baby had like a slightly open mouth. So yeah, you need to varnish, like you need to paint on the inside of the mouth, but you got to make sure that you have the proper tools to not have it pool and create this kind of gross looking texture. I mean, doing details such as like spit bubbles or dry skin or things like that should be like a whole other process, right? Like I mean, maybe collectors don't, some collectors maybe won't know, but it's up to the artist to be like, okay, like that's, that's not really the way to do it. There's special mediums to achieve those looks, and that's not what the varnish is for, because then the varnish can crack and things like that. It's got to be, you know, set properly and done properly. Okay, so I'm gonna cute baby. She's so cute. I love this sculpt so much. I can't wait till she's done. I might have to get another one for myself. But yeah, so just make sure that there's no dust, that nothing's pooling. And yeah, so I'm just gonna finish this head and then I'll be right back. All right, so baby is all done. So now after, at least I know with Genesis paints, you put them in the oven and they're ready to paint right away. But with air dry, you have to let this set for 24 to 48 hours, and then she'll be ready for paint. And I have a lot of different colors here. So I'll show you really quickly the mediums that we have. This is my dry skin medium. This does that really neat dry skin effect. It's really cool. And then I do have a 3D medium. This might be more for hair. I don't really know. To me, it has never really worked great. I usually end up just using the dry skin, even for a little bit of skin texture. This may, yeah, I think that's all that I have that I use right now. But anyway, so when I do the painting, I will show you all the different colors, all the different paints that I use. When you do your painting, you also need paint diffuser and paint emulsion. The paint emulsion really helps the paint stick to the vinyl, and the diffuser, I think it's called diffuser, or dilutant, I'm sorry, dilutant, that actually thins it out. I don't have any dilutant right now, but you can do the same thing with distilled water. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, but the emulsion is important because it helps the paint stick to the vinyl. And then of course at the very end, you do your varnish. There's a lot of different kinds of varnish. I have matte velvet varnish, which I really love because it makes the baby matte, but not too matte where it's not unrealistic. Like when you have a baby that's like super matte, that's not realistic. Like skin has a bit of a shine. Skin has reflectiveness. Like that's just the way it is. So I really like that, and it makes it nice and soft, like skin. And then we have the matte varnish final coat, which is that just makes it matte. And then we have the ultra matte, which I'm out of right now, but I do use that sometimes. So anyway, so there you go. Now when you're done, you want to make sure that you clean your sponges really well because the primer will harden. You want to make sure that your brush is really, really well soaped and washed. Probably with that same Dawn soap that we used to wash the kit would be fine. So you want to make sure that you clean all of your materials really well so that you can use it again, because you'll see how we use it in the next portion of the painting video. So thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited to bring this baby to life. I'm excited to bring you along. I'm excited for you to see what she looks like when she's all done. And yeah, we shall see you in the next one when we start to paint. All right, bye guys.